What's going on, paisanos? V here, coming back from the Louisville, Kentucky Regionals. 334 players, 9 rounds, top 48 gets their invite, and I got 23rd with Prank Kids. And I'm not playing generic, what I feel is the generic Thunder Dragon variant of playing Prank Kids, which I think is a phenomenal variant, by the way. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that build at all. I just personally like Pure more. I feel like Thunder Dragon Prank Kids is more aggressive, which is good, by the way. But Thunder Dragon Pure is more, I guess I want to say more stable. The plays are more stable. The setup is more stable. I can't kill you or set up to kill you as fast as Thunder Dragon Prank Kids. But then again, I just want to continually have my combos, my plays, and I felt that would give me a huge advantage. This build particularly would give me a huge advantage against the current meta. I was practicing this deck, main deck wise, to go against Salamangreats and Strikers, and my side deck was more against other matchups, which I'll show you guys in this video. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go over my main deck, my side deck, my extra deck. I'm going to give you guys my reasonings. I'm going to give you guys my round by round, my whole information. All the information by round, and then I'm going to give you guys a sum up of what I think about this deck and what I think about this deck in the future and its potential for Yu-Gi-Oh! Events. So right off the gate, guys, my deck was foreign, by the way. Just obviously, Prank Kids aren't quite Buben, unless you're in Germany. This deck has German core. I do have the English translations. I had it in another deck box, obviously different color, as you guys can see, which I highly recommend for everybody else to do stuff like that as well. I had to change my sleeves. My sleeves weren't 100% good before the event, and I actually wound up before the event making sure everything's flat. Like you guys can see, the deck is all flat and whatnot. And that's the goal. You want to make it nice and flat with foreign cards that can crease up. And I have a issue, which I'll probably address in another video, about a good friend of mine who had that similar issue. All right, so going back to the deck profile, we have 3 of every version of Prank Kids. I just kept calling them Flamus, Lubin, Throphis, and Roxy's. The core board didn't have Superior Roxy's, but luckily I had a playset. So there we go, a playset of every Prank Kid. Now here's where my build differs a little bit from most Thunder Dragon variants. I play 3 Denko Seka. I still think this card's phenomenal. I think against a Thunder Dragon matchup, this card's phenomenal. But I'll get back into once I after the deck profile, guys. I'm gonna give you guys my explanations for all these cards. Yeah, that's what I'm really gonna do. 3 DD Crows, the rest of my monster lineup. I play Invocation, a 1-for-1 Fusion Recycling Plants, Prank Kid Pranks, 2 Pod Desires, 2 Terraformings, 2 Prank Kids Place, 3 Instant Fusion, 3 Polymerization, 3 Core by the Grave, 3 Pandemonium, and a Prank Kids Plan. So this is my full build of Prank Kids. This is everything right here. I believe it's 41 cards. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. I believe it's like 41, 42. For the extra deck, it's 2 Duoduos, 2 Dogs, Rowan Roaster, Borload, Borsword, Nightmare Griffin, 2 Weather Washers, 2 Rockets, Battle Butler, Abyss Dweller, and Totally Awesome. Now, as for the side deck, it's 3 Prankatops, 3 Spear Mode, 3 Kumungus, 3 Artifact Lancia, and 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Okay, so the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is what I would sub out when I played against Sky Strikers. Even though I still felt like DD Crow was good against Sky Strikers, Ghost Ogre is basically just there to stop multi-row. It's a little good against rogue matches, depending on the rogue match you face against. As far as Artifact Lancia, any kind of Thunder Dragon spam deck, obviously Artifact Lancia is one of the best cards to use. You stun them for the turn with Artifact Lancia, and next time you just go in and just try to kill them, and majority of times, that would be the alternative. Now, I'm playing 3 Kumungus, but I don't have 3 Gamma Seals. Actually, it's a little funny story about this deck. I built this deck as a joke, and then I actually liked the deck after I built it as a joke. And then when it happened, I built a joke to a buddy of mine to beat him because he was playing Gold Rare, and I hate Gold Rarity that much. But going back into it, one of my customers in my shop decided they wanted to buy my Prank Kids deck. So I sold them my full deck, everything. Just, here's my deck, here's the cash, thank you so much. I think it was $135 I sold them the full deck for, minus a couple of cards like Borload, because I only own 1 of those. And, yeah, no, I actually got the Prank Kids core, and before this event I was going to play Altergeist, which I love the deck. I'm still looking forward to playing that at future events. But the reason why I wanted to play Prank Kids is I do enjoy playing this deck. Even though I like Altergeist a lot, I've been playing it for so long, I feel like that loss has kind of slowed down. That's why I wanted to pull away from it. But anyway, going back into it, I didn't have no Gamma Seals. Long story short, no Gamma Seals, played Kumungus. And in Spear Mode, I think Spear Mode's huge against Crusader Guard Dragon matchups. Any deck that tries to burn through 10 plus extra deck cards in one turn, this card's huge against. I don't understand why we're not seeing this in a lot of side decks. My opponent's gonna burn through 10 extra deck cards to try to put some stuns and negates on board. All I gotta do is hand him a spear mode and go on to continue playing regular prank kids. I don't even need to rush anything because they lost that match. They lost themselves. And I felt like that's very huge and important. I feel like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players don't play this card anymore, but they definitely should. With the Kaijus, you played against Strikers, obviously. That's the card you want to play. Now, a change I did the night before the event was Xanarusso Prankatops. I had Mystical Space Typhoon in there. I felt like with Floodgates in this game, you're always going to want to MST, because most people are going to play one Floodgate, and if you got MST, you can set a better board up, and they probably most likely will not be going into any more Floodgates, either because they don't have the ability to, or by the time they go into the next Floodgate, you could just nuke their board, so it doesn't really matter, or you would kill them. But then I decided to put Prankatops in because it's basically the same exact thing as MST. Plus, it gets rid of cards like Inspector Border, which is huge for me. Not that it's too big of a problem. I did play against an opponent who did drop it on me, but it was never really an issue. But going in with Prankatops was really big for me. Okay, so we'll go into the extra deck. Everything for the most part is the same. This event, I went to Abyss Dweller blindly more than I did Totally Awesome. And it's weird because I felt like Totally Awesome if I went to Totally Awesome more this event, my win percentage would be a lot higher because this card's that much of a house. Last event I played at was the Columbus Regionals, and I kept going into Abyss Dweller blindly. No, I'm sorry, Totally Awesome blindly, and it was horrible because I played against a bunch of Salaman greats. This card's amazing against them. This card's amazing against everything else, but you kind of got to play against them. Now, I played 2 Rocket Ride and 2... Weather Washer. We're in a meta where Yu-Gi-Oh players are playing Cold by the Grave, and they're also playing DD Crow, and that happened a lot this event. And I'm glad I played 2 and 2 each of these. At one point, I put a Cold by the Grave, one of my Weather Washers. I was able to make another Weather Washer, caught him off guard, and was able to seal a better victory. So I'm dead serious. You play 2 and 2. You don't play 1 Weather Washer. If you are playing the Thunder Dragon variant, you can because your opening play is so explosive. I don't think Weather Washer is that huge. But then again, even if I was playing Thunder Dragon variant, I would try still play a second Weather Washer. I still play Nightmare Griffin. I think it's a phenomenal card. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players. I mean, I didn't go into this event, but in theory, you can still make a board that makes it hard for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players to answer with Nightmare Griffin. That's why I kept it in. Borlo and Borosaurus are still 2 great cards. You need them. There's no question about it. There's my River on Roaster, and I played 2 and 2 of these cards. I think that's for the most of these basic as far as that. Okay, so going back into why DD Crow is amazing. I had the option to play Ash, Effect Failure, Infinite Permits, all those great cards, and they're phenomenal cards. Hell, I can even put in Ghost Ogre. The reason I chose DD Crow is because it's the best hand trap nobody knows about this meta. Ghost Ball's trash. DD Crow is so good. When you play against Salamangreats, the main thing they want to do is use that go into Mirage Shalio by getting rid of that level 3 guy whose name I just automatically forgot about. Well, if you DD Crow them, their turn ends. Their board is trash, and you easily can win. I easily done this a couple of times throughout this event, and I'm so glad I put DD Crow in. You play against Sky Strikers, and they go into Kagari, and after Kagari's effect target engage, you DD Crow engage. Kagari misses its effect. Yeah, end phase will get Shizuka effect off, but they're not going to explode on the board because getting that extra plus that Kagari can offer. Also, most of the time, if you notice, when you play against Strikers, when they go to Kagari to grab the engage, they already have 3 spells on Graveyard, so they're trying to just be more aggressive, trying to gain more of a hand advantage. And when you DD Crow that engage, any Sky Striker player, that hurts way more than an Ash Boss or Effect Failure or any of those cards because they know that card is now out the deck for the rest of the game. They're playing with 2 engages, and if you hit you have 2 DD Crows in hand. I mean, you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's just huge, and I really think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, or even if they activate engage and they have 3 spells in hand, you hit one of the spells and that hurts them as well. But I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are slowly starting to play DD Crow over cards like Effect Veil or Ash Blossom, which is still great hand traps, don't get me wrong, but this card was definitely way better throughout the event. I'm glad I put it in. I like playing Denko Sekka. It's obviously it's probably my favorite monsters in the deck right now. Because of every rogue matchup. 2 Dracos or Ultra Guys, if you want to consider these decks rogue. I'll tell you Guru Control. I know I played Guru Control though. But against Salamangreats, against Sky Strikers, you summon Denko Sekka, and all they have is whatever hand traps are in their hand. Other than that, they have nothing. And if you play Denko Sekka and your opponent has no back row, they're stunned with no back row, you can easily open cards like Polymerization. That's why I opted, if you notice, guys, I'm playing 3 of this card. hold on a second. I'm playing 2 Prank Kids Pranks. Because I made room for the 3rd Fusion Recycling plan. I also put 1-for-1 as an extender because you can't play Reason because we have Deco Sucker and Diddy Crow, which is a terrible flip. But 1-for-1 to help as an extender. And Fusion Recycling Plant was the 3rd Prank Kids Pranks. I don't hate Prank Kids Pranks, and I would love to. I wish I could have played another one. I just hate the inconsistency beyond 40 cards in my deck already. So that's the reason why I cut it on 2. But the reason I play Fusion Recycling Plant, because once I go Deco Secca and I go to Fusion Recycling Plant, my opponent has to Ash it. If they don't Ash it or Ogre it, I'm getting free cards, I'm getting free advantage, I'm pretty much going to win that game. I also played 3 Core by the Grave just because in case they do have an Ash, which this card was really good throughout the whole event. I was a little bit hesitant last event with playing Core by the Grave, and I'm so glad I am playing it right now. Now, the only reason we're playing 2 Prank Kids Pranks is because the 3rd one is Fusion Recycling Plant as well, and we had Terraforming, which cycles through both of these. So I didn't feel the need to run 3 and 1 because I didn't want to open double Prank Kids Pranks, which is a -1 opening hand. It's useless. The card's really good turn 2, but turn 1 the card's absolutely trash. And then the rest of the deck, I think, for the most part, is pretty standard. Oh, this is Invocation. I bought it from a buddy of mine's. Like I said, I saw my original build of the deck. Paw's Eyes is always hit or miss. There are times I banished it off Roxy's, and there are times I actually use this effect. I mostly banished it off Roxy's. I don't hate Paw's Eyes. I don't regret putting this card in my deck. It is needed in pure Prank Kids. If you play without Paw's Eyes, you're playing with your hand as is, which at times you can brick. I bricked a couple times throughout this event, and when you brick, you take an L, and it hurts. Okay, so let me go my round 1. I'm trying to give you a quick tournament report because something very interesting happened on this tournament report. I would love to discuss it with you guys. Round 1, I played against Invoked Mech Knights, and we actually tied, which is the worst way to start a Yu-Gi-Oh event. I've had a win or lose right off the gate, but no, we tied. It was a very cool play. It was very nice. He definitely got game 1. He had a lot of great advantage, way more than what I could put on board, you know, from my hand. And game 2, I wound up getting him. And getting a W against him. So we tied. Very nice duels, very nice guy. Definitely a great match. Probably one of my favorite matches. Second favorite match of the event, besides another one I'll mention in a second. Round 2 was against True Draco, and I win that match easily. I mean, True Dracos is a phenomenal deck, don't get me wrong, but unless they consistently hold down their floodgates, I'm going to win that match. I think any Prank Kids player who plays pure has the same feeling. You can gain as much resources as possible, but your effects that target my monsters, I'm just going to tag them out all day long, and plus, while you're just breaking down your board to try to make me tag out, which I'm going to do. So, I think this deck's really good against True Draco. It's not that it ever was a challenge. Round 3 was against I found his name, and I feel really bad because he was super nice. It's probably my favorite match of the event. Was against the guy who won the YCS with Cyber Dragons, who's been winning consistently, who actually made top 8 in this event. I'm pretty sure I'm his only loss with Cyber Dragons, a phenomenal player. He didn't know what my deck did at all, and I knew some of his deck, but I didn't know fully what his deck could do, so I literally had to read his so I was literally there just reading his deck, and we were just reading each other's cards. Like Nash, he dropped Nashter, and I go, okay, I'm gonna react to this card. I have an action in my hand, but I just gotta know what it does because I know this card's really good. Things like that. And we went back and forth. We was reading each other's cards, and he was really cool. I really enjoyed talking to him, even after the match. Very great player. I ended up winning that one, by the way. But I really wish we could have played out game 2 because he's a phenomenal player, and I don't want to love to see how that match would have turned out. Round 4 was against True Draco. I won again. I think this deck's undefeated against True Draco. Me playing this deck is undefeated against True Draco. There was one of them. Where is it? Okay, that's okay. Round 5 was against Salad. I won. No, I'm sorry. I lost against Salaman Greats. So I made a huge misplay. A really bad misplay. The last round, we was going in time. We had about 3 minutes left on the clock. I had this card in graveyard with a bunch of Prank Kids, and I didn't use his effect. And I had 2 Prank Kids in hand with a Pandemonium, and this was in graveyard. Yeah, I really clustered that. I really messed that one up. I was too busy thinking. I was too busy being excited, realizing how good this deck's doing. And to be honest with you, it was really hot. And when it's really hot, and I start sweating because of the heat, not because I've lost the ability to get nervous at Yu-Gi-Oh events, but it was so hot, I just couldn't focus. I feel like I'm making a lot of excuses, but that really was the main reason. When it's really hot and I'm sweating, I don't care about the match anymore. It's about getting to an area where I could be, you know, we're Lions, we're tropical. Anyway, round 6, played against Dracos. We went to game 3, actually, and I won. And I have to show you my hand because it was that bad of a hand. It was really that bad of a hand. So it was one of those hands you open and you go, oh God, why me? So here's my hand against him. He went first and I opened this and I was like, oh, I'm dead. There's no way I could win. I am a dead man. And I actually looked at my opponent, looked at people next to me and I go, to see if they were, they were playing already. But I was like, look how dead I am. And what had happened was, he made his play and he didn't get card on mice. I felt if he got card on mice, he would have beat me easily. Because he would have had just way more advantage at that point. But he didn't get card on mice, and I wound up drawing into a Roxy's. And this hand's dead. With a Roxy's, it became playable. So what I immediately did was drop the Dango Sekka. He had no response. And after Dango Sekka got dropped, I went Polymerization and actually won that match pretty well. And it was only because of the extra draw. And this is why I say Polymerization is such a huge card in this deck. And I really want to fit this deck into a 40-card build with an upstart to help me deck thin and help me have more consistency. Because I feel this is a phenomenal deck, but all consistency can become an issue. But I won that match. Round 7, my opponent dropped, actually. And it was funny because I'm not sure he wants to know who his name, wants his name to be known, but he's a fairly good player. And what happened was, in my mind, I was sitting there thinking, okay, I know what he's playing. I was thinking about the games. I'm like, I win dice roll, I could lock board game 1. I could take it. If he wins dice roll, I'm going to look at my hand, probably scoop that game 1. Game 2, I'm going to throw my sides in. I'm going to take game 2 by letting him go first so I can get the extra draw. And then game 3, it's a coin flip depending on what my hand is. And that was my mentality. He walks over and he goes, hey, how's it going, buddy? How's it going, buddy? He signs a slip and I'm like, oh, okay. So he wound up dropping for that event and which is good because that would have been I'm not sure it would have been a hard matchup, but definitely would have been a challenging matchup for, I think, both of those players. Round 8 was a tie. Now, this is a very interesting setup and the Duelist, by the way, was a very nice guy. He's a World's Points player. I played against a lot of World's Points players, to be honest with you. But he was a World's Points player. And I had this card up on board with a totally awesome with 2 dropsies. So it was like this on my board. I think I had a face-up, hold on a sec, I'm sorry. A face-up Prank Kid Pranks. And that was really my board. That was it. Nothing too crazy, but this was my board. Now, I know this video is going long. I'm really sorry about that, by the way. But once again, this is my board. This is my setup. And what happened was, early in the event, one of my buddies who went to the event lost because his opponent still had a card to play through during time. Literally, I talked to him, and he said he lost one of his matches because he was about to go into the battle phase, and his opponent said, hold on, I got a card to play. Even though I want to change the state of the game, I still can play this card, or at least have the option to play this card, I think it was. I don't think he wanted playing the card, but had option playing the card, and since he didn't have a chance to respond to activating or not activating the card, my time was caught in the round, but they couldn't go into battle phase. He was basically stored out of battle phase. Played against this guy, and it was about, I think, like 10 seconds after the clock. He's down 1,500 life points. He goes into Kagari to even the matchup to tie it. And at that point, I didn't care. I didn't care either way. My record was pretty good. I really didn't care. But I was like, you know what? He goes battle phase, and time's going around. I go, before you enter your battle phase, I'm going to activate his effect. Obviously, this is a very douchey move. I'll be the first to admit it. Both judges were called, and both judges were basically having a discussion upon this ruling. Now, listen, I hate time ruling. I loathe the time ruling, to be honest with you. I think there's a better way to do it. It will make your events go longer, but it will increase player satisfaction. Which, in this instance, I'm not sure Konami wants to do because what's more better for the company. I totally get that, understand that. With that said, guys, I completely can do this. Now, there's a couple of things that can happen. One, I could have did display, or 2, I go, I'm not green to go into battle phase. I would like to see what's in your graveyard because I might have a response. And response being this. Or I just might want to see what's in your graveyard. How many cards in your hand? What's set? How many cards in my graveyard? How many cards are banished? I can, as a player, do this. It's really mean. It's really grimy. Even activating this, I ain't gonna lie. It's really mean, really grimy. But it's a legal activation I can do whenever I want to because that's how the card is worded. So, he got upset, and rightfully so, called the judge over. And 2 judges came over. First judge said, is anything going to change the game state? I go, well, yes. One monster's leaving the field. Henceforth, the game state will be changed, and I will be adding 2 cards to my hand. And the judge said, I understand that, but what we have here is, it looks like from this point of view, you are intentionally stalling the clock. And I go, yes, I am, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. I absolutely am doing this because it will keep my opponent in the battle phase. I mean, in the main phase, and henceforth, I will win the match. Now, once again, I did not care at this point. My mind was made up. I'm gonna tie with this kid no matter what. And I even told myself, I rarely swear my children's lives. I'm like, I swear my children's lie, man. I was tying with you no matter what. I wanted the justice to be called over. If you didn't raise your hand, I was gonna raise my hand because I want to see what happened with this. No matter what, we were gonna tie. No big deal with them. Really, no big deal. I think I was X1-2, I believe, or X2-2. Anyway, judge comes over and the first judge says, hey, listen, this could be seen as potential stalling. And I'm sitting there going, you can do whatever you gotta do, guy, but if this isn't stalling, then I have to talk to you about my buddy over there, because we have a huge case of stalling in which nothing was done with. And my buddy did call the judge, which was really messed up. The other judge said, no, it's not considered stalling. You can legally make this play. Your opponent legally has to allow you to make this play. It might be seen as trying to abuse the clock, but this is a legal play that you can legally do. With that said, it's not seen as stalling. You can do it, and you have the option to do it during the main phase, and if the time was called, well, that is on your opponent's fault, because that's how the game works. Once again, the rulings are not fair. This is what it is, and they were chalking over. I told my opponent, I calmed him down, because he was really upset about this. He was a worst points player. I said, guy, no matter what, we're tying. It's cool. I swear to you, whatever it's ruled, I don't care. We're tying this match. You're good to go, brother. Justin walk over and Justin goes, so have you guys, they went to ask us, have you guys, so what have you guys figured out? I go, well, we're tying a match, no big deal. I just want to know about the state of this status, because I have a problem when something happened to a buddy of mine's, and when you guys watching the video, it probably happened to you or your friends. So both judges basically came to a, I don't want to say in conclusion, they both had a conversation about it. I don't think the head judge was brought in, but a conversation was still brought in. In this scenario, I believe, and I could be wrong, I could believe this was, no matter what, even though it is considered a setup of stalling, this is a legal play I can make. I'm not trying to burn the clock intentionally. This is a legal play. I can easily do this, or once again, have the option, I should really emphasize, the option of making this play, so I'm going to get into his battle phase before I have the option and allow him to respond to this play, which is going to be activated during the main phase. So I just want to really emphasize that. Once again, I really do want to apologize to the kid. I really don't want to stress him out. He's a very nice kid. He is a world points player, great player. And it was a great match no matter what, overall. And we went to Game 3, and Game 3 just happened. And to both judges, I do want to apologize to you guys. I want to take the opportunity to apologize because I didn't want it to go like this and have you guys, having a conversation and working this over too much. I do feel bad about all this situation, but the time ruling is so gray and cloudy in certain areas, and this obviously is one of those areas. Also, once again, guys, if you're in main phase and time's going down and you go into battle phase, your opponent doesn't agree to it, then you have to wait until they agree to it. Obviously, if they take too long, can be seen stalling. If they have nothing they can play, it's definitely stalling. But if there's an option, even if it's a bad one, they can absolutely make that happen. I remember it happening in Columbus, where my opponent actually was playing Thunder Dragons against me, and just to burn the clock, he was making bad plays. Once again, he can still make those bad plays, and they were bad plays. He had a great play, and so I'm making bad plays just to burn the clock on me. And even though they were bad plays, even though it looked like it was stalling, which it probably was, I can't do nothing about it because legal plays are still happening. And even though those are bad plays, he can still 100% do those plays. So that's what I want to really emphasize that. And once again, I'm going to apologize to everybody that had to do with my my silliness for that event. But and thank you to everybody who understands. Round 9 won. So round 9 was a weird one. I don't feel like I feel like I should have tied round 9, but I won it. Game when he smoked me, it was Thunder Dragon, Crusadia, Spam Dot deck. Was a phenomenal deck, great player. And game 2, I sided in Spear mode. I threw Spear mode on his side, and he wanted to play it out still, which I was pretty shocked about. We played it out. I of course won that match. Relatively easily. Once they get Spirit mode, they can't really do much. And then in game 3, and this is odd, he turned around, I saw the clock, we had a couple of minutes left on the clock, maybe about 3 minutes on the clock, and he looked at me and said, you go first, and I said, oh god. I want to emphasize, throughout this event, I never tried to burn anybody, I never intentionally burned anybody in time, I never wanted to do anything in timing shenanigans, besides last round. Which is a whole different story, as you guys just heard. What happened was, I said, okay, well, I'm going to gain 1,000, you're going to lose 500. I made the whole comp playthrough, and when it was about a minute left in the round, I told him the whole scenario, and I said, and I still have more plays to do, by the way. I'm not trying to stall you, but I really do want to end on my board, and I'll pass turn over to you. And I kept making my plays, and at one point, by the time I showed it to him, before time was called, he goes, you know what? I can do 1,500 damage to you to clear that gap within a minute left. You got it. And it was really nice of him to at least acknowledge that. I felt like if he went first, we most likely would have tied, but nevertheless, I went up winning it. I'm sorry about the long deck profile, guys, the tournament report, but it was a great tournament report. I want to say thank you to everybody who came to the event, who saw me, and I forgot which round it was, but everyone was yelling Paisano throughout the whole entire place. I believe it was around 7 or 6. I was sitting down just for my matchup. My opponent was really cool. He was talking to me, joking around. Everybody around was joking around. And all of a sudden, I hear one guy, hey, Paisano, hey, Paisano, hey, yo, Paisano. And everyone started doing it, and it's something that really made me happy to see everybody. Not showing love to me, but showing love to the channel. And I really do appreciate you guys, because not that I work hard on my videos, but I love doing them. And to see that you guys appreciate and love what I do, it means a lot to me, guys. And it really does. It means a hell of a lot to me. And thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for congratulations to the Cyber Dragon player, and I apologize for forgetting your name, for topping. DeBlast Wilson. DeBlast Wilson? I'm really bad at his name. I'm sorry. Thank you to him. He walked up to me and asked me for a deck profile. This World's Point, another phenomenal World's Points player, said, man, I'll be honored if you record a my deck profile on your channel. And that took me off guard. He was super nice. I've never seen someone so respectful and honest and nice, and that caught me off guard, and I was so appreciative of that, and I just wanted to say thank you to him. And I probably got to make sure, I'll try to remember, I want to do my market watch early today, but I didn't get a chance to. And thank you to everybody, once again, coming over with me saying, hey, what's going on, Paisano? Some guy named Sammy, I signed his binder. I never forgot you, by the way, Sammy. I didn't forget a lot of people's names, I do apologize, but I don't know why I remember Sammy. But very nice people would say, hey, man, can you sign this? Can you sign that? And I was signing cards and taking pictures of people, and it really meant a lot to me that you guys came up to me and we, joked around, had a conversation, and once again, I just want to pre-emphasize about this deck. Besides Boros Sword Dragon, the deck is relatively inexpensive, and you can get your invite with prank kits, guys. This is a very cheap deck, very cheap build, and hopefully you guys take this build to your regionals and go ahead and get your invite. I would greatly appreciate it if you do, and let me know. Comment down below. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my video. It's a long deck profile. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this, and good luck to you guys at your future events. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day.